Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Welcome to part 2 of reading my favorite booktubers 5-star reads. I originally wasn't going to split this video into 2 parts, but after starting to edit the first video, I realized it was going to be really long. Plus it did take me a lot longer to finish all these books than I thought it would, just because, you know, stuff happens and I was making other videos which have already come out, as you would have seen, and yeah. But this is part 2. I'm speaking from the future, technically from future Mel is speaking right now. I have currently finished the books, but yeah, I needed to make a intro for this video. But yeah, so enjoy me reading these books and my reactions to them. Thought I would give you an update on Every Summer After. I have been reading it on my Kindle just because I usually read it in bed when I wake up or before I go to sleep. But I have the physical copy here. I'm up to chapter 11, which is page 171. It's getting really good. I'm really enjoying this. I haven't physically read a romance story in so long. Like, I've listened to so many, but I haven't physically read one, and it's so nice. We love a good romance palette cleanser between all the other books, but I'm definitely really enjoying it. I am a sucker for a past present timeline where they were like friends and then there's something happened. Like, I really enjoy You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry and Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. Like, I loved those books, so this is definitely up my alley. I'm very much enjoying this. I'm very curious as to what happened. I think I'm getting closer to finding out what happened between them. It's just the tension in here is just so good. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I can't wait to finish it while trying to film this video and so many others. I'm trying to film so many videos at once. It's actually ridiculous. So as you would have saw, I am reading this a part of my trying to read 100 pages a day challenge, just because I also really want to get through it, because that first part of this took like 2 months to finish the 2 books. So I am so close to uni holidays where I have like a month and a half of no uni, so I'm so excited to just read. I'm gonna sit here, drink my mocha, read a bit more. I'll probably just read on the Kindle just because it's a little easier, and yeah. Okay, so I'm a little quiet because I'm on break at work, but I just finished chapter 11 of Every Summer After, and tell me why that fucking broke me. Oh my god, I just want to cry. I genuinely want to cry. I want to keep reading, but I only have like 6 minutes left of my break, and I'm not going to be able to finish the chapter in that, because the past chapters are always so much longer, and it's going to be the chapter where we find out what happened between them. So I really want to invest my time in this chapter, but it broke me. Oh my god, I haven't felt something for a book in so long, and the fact that I want to cry right now is beautiful. I'm loving this book. Oh my god, I forgot how much I got the book. Also, I finally ordered a case and stickers for my Kindle. I'm so excited.
Everything goes white. I can feel the breeze. Euphoric delight.
Okay, so I'm just sitting here reading, and I am really hoping that what I currently think will happen won't, and that's not the reason that they didn't talk, but it's sort of led up to that. And if what I think happens, I understand why the other person would be mad, but also like currently what I've just read, they're not being the nicest either. But I am loving this. I'm genuinely loving this. I'm so excited and sad to finish it. I don't want to leave these characters, but finishing a book just is the greatest feeling.
It'll be real sad. Let's both hope that it don't get so bad. Pour your honey, sickly sweet, keeps me coming, got me weak. You could kill me, I'd still be, darling, your number 6 feet deep. Oh, it's real hard to break this habit. It's like I want you 24/7. When I'm without you, boy, I feel sick. Think you work better than my prescriptions.
So I finished it. I love this book. It made me actually feel things while reading a book, which I have not had in so long. I don't know what it was. Like, there have been so many books that I've read and I have loved, but they just haven't made me feel anything. And I felt so much with this book. There was a clip from before where I literally almost cried. I had to go back to work after reading the ending of a chapter, and someone was like, "What's wrong? What happened?" And I'm like, "The chapter of my book." I literally was about in tears. I'm gonna tear up now. Oh my god. So I don't know what took me so long to get through it, and it was a great combination of happiness and laughter and pain. So much pain, oh my god. But I genuinely love this, and if you haven't figured out, I'm giving it a 5 stars. I love it so much. The characters, I felt so connected to them. I can imagine it, and it's been a while since that, and like I think the last time I felt this connected to characters was with the Addicted Calloway sister series, which I'm not reading that series anymore. I'm reading Their Children, which I have to get back into eventually. So I read the last 80 pages in basically one sitting, which you would have seen in a different video as well. So if you see a couple of the same clips, because I'm filming these at the same time, and I literally, like, I wanted to chuck this across the room. Oh my god. I definitely think I'll eventually reread this book at one point. The thing I thought happened did happen. It kind of says it on the back, so she was the one to technically ruin things and stuff, but she was genuinely just hurt from what he was doing, so it was literally both of them just being stupid teenagers. Okay, so it's been a hot minute since I finished Every Summer After, which you guys would have seen in a previous video. And you can probably tell by the distance between that video and this video how long it has been, but I am going to finally pick up the final book for this read, which is, I think this is Sarah's book, and this is the one she gave to, I don't remember. This collab was so long ago. They've done so much more since then, but this is Sarah's book. It is If He Had Been With Me. And based off watching that video, I was very excited to start this one because obviously they both loved it. I think someone gave it 4 stars, and this is a 5-star rate for her. But since then and recently, a lot of people have come up on my TikTok saying they've DNF'd this book. So I'm now a little nervous to start it. I will obviously keep you updated. Okay, so a little update on If He Had Been With Me. I am on chapter 20, which is around page 90, I believe. I definitely have a few thoughts. There's an item that the main character wears, and for me, it's a little immature, I guess. Go her for sticking her ground with it, and like if you were to read the book, you would understand like the whole like complex with it. But I'm just like, okay. And along with that, if I were to have read this, in 4, 5, 6 years, I definitely would think this book was like immature, the action's immature, the writing's very childish and everything. Like, that's what my first thoughts were as well. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, that's the whole point of the book. It's been a while since I've read a young adult book, so it took me a while to realize what I was reading. It's a young adult book. They're freshmen, sophomores in high school. This is how they would act. This is how they think. This is how they say things. And I think I'm still close enough in age to that to remember those thoughts, feelings, the thought process with things, and like how a young teenager going through high school and puberty and all these new emotions and hormones and how they feel. So definitely I'm liking how they've captured such a young persona. Like, at the moment they've written it so well that I'm so intrigued by some table drama. There's drama about a table and I'm so invested in it.
From far away she looks so good. Grew up in the same neighborhood, and that's how to rub salt in the wound. Spend a few hours on the reservoir. Never broke a bone, so I'm gonna try hard to prove you wrong. That I'm not who I used to be. I'm not living at 17. Let's go. Feet away, she's like a primrose. You're never taking me alive, so come close. And I know why you said it, 'cause I'm reading every word.
There has been this guy running back and forth behind me on the path for the whole time I've been here. Anyway, I am up to chapter 65 of If He Had Been With Me, which is just shy of 300 pages in, and I have many thoughts and feelings, and we just had a little bit of heartbreak, which I kind of suspected that would happen from the beginning. There was like a whole thing kind of towards it. I don't know how else to describe it without spoiling anything for those who haven't read it. The whole book, I had the thought of, because they're in high school and this couple had been together. I don't know if any of this is spoiling it, but they're in high school and there was a couple and they just kept saying things, and I'm like, these are all false promises. That's the dude. They just kept saying things throughout their relationship, and I'm like, these are all false promises. They're all the hopes of like young teenage love. I knew that throughout the whole book. I know we haven't gotten to the main heartbreak yet. Like, obviously I still have that much left of this book to go. Definitely young adult, definitely getting those feelings and thoughts and false promises of young teenagers. And again, like I said before, if I had read this when I was 15, 16, I would have eaten this up. I would have been obsessed with this. I know that for sure. And that's not saying I don't like it. I am enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I like kind of being back into those young feelings and thoughts, and while I myself never experienced that, I had friends who did, and I comforted them when they got their heart broken. Yeah, I'm gonna continue reading, and I just thought I'd give a little update. Okay guys, so it is time for my final thoughts on If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. This book, as you would have seen, I was very conflicted on my feelings going into this, because as this is a part of this series, this was Sarah's 5-star read, which she gave to this one to Haley in their first videos that they did together. And so that was like that. I think Haley gave it a pretty high rating as well. But then recently, right before I started reading it, I saw many negative comments about it, a lot of people saying they DNF'd it, so I was very scared going into this book on what it would bring for me. And definitely the first few chapters, I liked how short the chapters were. I will say that the short chapters made it really easy to read, and to me, short chapters make you feel like you're accomplishing something while you're reading, so that's always a bonus. It's YA, and I haven't read YA in a while, so that also helped my reading. I really liked it. I forget how much I like YA books until I pick another one up. Starting this, you are, as everyone knows, you hit right with how it ends and what happens. Obviously not spoiling anything, but there are a few things that I had to kind of look past. There's item that the main female character wears every single day that you just kind of, if you just forget that she wears it, great. And then there's also kind of the whole I'm not like them within the friendship group dynamic for most of it, so that's also kind of, if you just kind of get that past out, which is good because it is a YA and that's how a lot of teenagers do think and feel. And I remember feeling that I'm not that far past from myself being a teenager, so it's definitely well written in that teenage mind. It has the false promises, the false hope of like young teen love in it, and it had heartbreak, and it had all the thoughts and feelings and different stages of puberty that teenagers are going through, and you kind of see that throughout the book. And I really like that. I really like when she deeply thought into it and was like, this is about teenagers, this is how teenagers think and feel, this is what teenagers say when they're in relationships. And like when you get that, it's really good, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well written. I loved the writing of it. And then obviously getting to the end, you leading up to the end, and you like know what's gonna happen, you know it's coming up, and you're just like, I don't want to, like, you're like, I want to keep reading, but I don't want to get to that part. And it's just, it was, the ending was really intense, which I don't shy away from. I will say look up the trigger warnings for this book, because there is talk of like depression, anxiety, and suicide a lot throughout this book, so I would like just keep that in mind if you were to go into it. That is talked about. It's like one of the main points of the book, and it wasn't written in any kind of way that was like, you shouldn't be dealing this, you should not be feeling like this. It was like, it's okay to feel like this, it's okay to get help for feeling like this is what can happen if you don't get help, and everything. So I felt like that was really well written as well. So I ended up giving this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Not quite the 5 stars, because again, there were a couple things that I had to look past in order to really enjoy the book. It didn't give me that 5-star feeling either. So 4 stars, which is still a really good rating for a book. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I feel like it's a really great read. Okay, so again, sorry for the tripod. It just keeps like tilting upwards, and I really need a new one. I just haven't gotten one. I'm gonna give you a quick recap of all the books I read for this video. So the first book we read was Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I think I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I believe I do finally have the second one, so I will eventually pick that up. This was Rachel's 5-star read, but also if you watch Sarah, you know how much she is obsessed with this series as well. Then next up we have Haley Pham's 5-star read, and that was Once Upon a Broken Heart. I can't remember. I will put the correct rating up here, or I'll just change it to whatever. I think I gave this a 3.5 or a 3.75 star rating. I don't know if it was just at the time of which I was reading this that I was swamped with uni, I was stressed, that it just didn't call out to me that much. And I think it was the first like fairy tale fantasy that I've read, so I think that was just also really new for me. Then we have Destiny Sidwell's 5-star read, which was Every Summer After, which obviously was in this video. And as you know, Destiny rates her books pretty, not harsh, but she doesn't have many 5-star reads. Like, she keeps those 5-star reads to absolute 5 stars, and I absolutely agree with her on this one. This was amazing. I loved it. And then obviously we have If He Had Been With Me, which I gave a 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. It was a great book, And yeah, thank you for watching part 2 of reading my favorite booktubers 5-star reads. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.